Now there's a creepy sonar-like sound coming through one of Starliner's speakers. Today we've got a couple of stories from space on the Boeing Starliner. Let's start with an update. The Starliner is scheduled to undock from the International Space Station and to make its way back to Earth at 6:04 p.m. Eastern Time on September 6th, at the earliest. If the weather cooperates and the spacecraft leaves the ISS as planned, it will be landing at White Sands Space Harbor in New Mexico, with the help of parachutes to slow its descent and inflated airbags at around 12:03 a.m. on September 7th. While the ground teams at Starliner Mission Control in Houston and at Boeing Mission Control Center in Florida can control the spacecraft remotely if needed, it will be an uncrewed, fully autonomous flight for the Starliner. NASA recently announced that Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams, the astronauts that headed to the ISS aboard the Starliner for its first crewed flight, will be coming home on a SpaceX Crew Dragon instead. Wilmore and Williams flew to the ISS in June and were only supposed to spend a little more than a week on the orbiting laboratory. On the way there, however, 5 of the spacecraft's maneuvering thrusters had failed, and its helium leak problem that previously caused its launch to be pushed back had worsened. Engineers on the ground conducted tests with help from the astronauts on the ISS to determine whether the Starliner was safe for the crew to ride back to Earth. In the end, NASA decided that it's safer for Wilmore and Williams to come home on a SpaceX vehicle because there was too much uncertainty around the Starliner's thrusters. The agency will cover Starliner's return live on NASA Plus, the NASA app, and its website. As for the SpaceX Crew 9 mission that's replacing the Boeing's vehicle on the ISS, it's scheduled to launch no earlier than September 24th. Instead of flying with 4 astronauts as planned, it will fly with 2, NASA astronaut Nick Hague and Roscosmos cosmonaut Alexander Gorbanov, to leave 2 seats empty for its return flight with Wilmore and Williams in February 2025. And the Starliner apparently still has a few new mysteries left in it to throw at the team before it departs. On Saturday, Wilmore alerted NASA's Mission Control about an unexplained, strange noise coming from a speaker in the spacecraft, which you can hear in an audio clip of the conversation shared on a NASA spaceflight forum by meteorologist Rob Dale. It starts at around the 45-second mark, ringing out on a steady beat. "I don't know what's making it," Wilmore said. After confirming they could hear the sound too, once Wilmore brought his mic over to the speaker, the flight controller in Houston said it was kind of like a pulsing noise, almost like a sonar ping. Wilmore then lets it play for about 20 seconds more before wrapping up the call. "Just to make sure I'm on the same page, this is emanating from the speaker in Starliner," Mission Control asked. "You don't notice anything else? Any other noises? Any weird configs in there?" The astronaut notes that everything else seems normal. When we're recording, it's still unclear what caused the sound. Spooky. Thanks for listening to the show. Make sure to rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Today's show featured journalism by Gadget contributors Cheyenne McDonald and Mariella Moon, and was produced by Spoken Layer. I'm Imran Sheikh, and as always, we'll talk more tomorrow.
Spoken Layer.